Yo, what's the word? Your fucking bidoy, young Mayn Thuggin. Up in the booth right now, about to drop these 2 songs for y'all. What Would You Do? By my main man, TB.
I got a big mouth, can't help it. I talk from my heart, I'm real, you know what I'm saying? Whatever comes. But my controversy probably, and it's not my fault. I'm trying to find my way in the world, you know, I'm trying to be somebody instead of just make money off everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
so I go down
track.
paths that haven't been traveled.
I'm on the block and I'm towing the Glock. Run up on me, nigga, I leave you shot. I hang with niggas that take what you got. Like, give me that gun, nigga, give me that guap. I hang with killers, they kill you on spot. They tow revolvers, put one in your top. They know you got it, they run in your spot. Kicking your door, they don't care if it's locked. Call the police, they don't care about the cops. Do it again, they don't care if it's hot. Gotta get money, this shit don't stop. Young niggas trapping and setting up shop. Like, what do you need? What you tryna cop? Swiper, no swiper, get put in a box. I keep a 40, I ain't tryna box. This bitch hold a 50 and clear a whole lot. If you get to the chest, then I give you your props. Don't care if you trapping or you got a job. Care if you stripping or you got a rock. I cannot judge you cause I am not God. They pingin' don't matter, they put up facades. Ever been homeless, stepped in the garage? What would you do to overcome the odds? Nigga, no snitching, we move like the mob. Niggas be corny like corn on the cob. This bitch wanna fuck, but I just want the top. Sip out the pint, I think I lost the top. Fuck up, pour the rest of that in the pop. Never could dope, but bro could make it lock. I'm in the hood with the crack in my sock. I'm shooting shit that a tumble can't block. You a bitch nigga, you get played cop. Think it's your heart, but you're soft as some cotton. My bitch spoil me, but I leave niggas ride. Think it's your fly, but you're only an ostrich. Instagram flexing, you ain't even got shit. You was the man, but now you ain't poppin'. Pull up in foreigns when time to go shopping. Pull off in foreigns when I go do hot shit.
What would you do to have a plan? What would you do to become the one? What would you do to get out the slums? What would you do? 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 Money make this world go round and pussy still do rule the world. Real pharaohs do what they want, these bitch niggas do what they can. It's time for us to lend a helping hand to the brother man in this American jam. The president's a big race with them fake faces leaving all them traces. For goodness gracious, this abomination, it's an abomination with infestation. We waiting up on our reparations, this is dedication to my Afro nation. Black women know all their work while these bad bitches only know what works. Take Trump, get his ass stumped, throw him in the trunk and leave his ass slumped. My life is a do or die and this is season 5 of the Fab 5. So otherwise I don't jeopardize nor compromise on my ally lives. That's TB, that's Simma, that's Young Nate and that's SIV. That's loyalty over royalty, but these fuck boys don't know what I mean. My lyrics is too dope with too many options. Knowledge is spreading, they say that it's toxic. When we start connecting, they say it's obnoxious. I know that you hate it, but still let her watch it. Why would you do this right now? I had to come do this right now. It's best that we go through this now, so we can get up and around. And once that we up, then we out. This shit that I'm talking so mandatory. I just stay up in my laboratory. Please do not come to my territory. I do not do this shit for the glory. I just do this shit to tell our story. Know that you hear me, you can't ignore me. I just do this shit to tell our story. What would you do to become a man? What would you do to have a plan? What would you do to become the one? What would you do to get out the slums? What would you do? 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 What would you do to become a man? What would you do to have a plan? What would you do to become the one? What would you do to get out the slums? What would you do? 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 What would you do to become a man? What would you do to have a plan? What would you do to become the one? What would you do to get out the slums? What would you do? What would you do? What would you do? What would you do? What would you do?